Welcome back to Winners and Losers, the show that looks at the highs and the lows from around world football. This week, obviously, it's midweek and it's 2020. Welcome to a new year. I hope you had a great Christmas. I hope you had a happy new year. I didn't really, because the first winner was Arsenal this week. Zach.
Indeed they were, mate. They ended the Christmas period in the best possible fashion, beating Manchester United comfortably 2-0 at the Emirates. It was Mikel Arteta's first victory in 3 attempts since taking over as head coach last month, having drawn with Bournemouth and losing to Chelsea in his first 2 games. It also ended a damning run for the Gunners, who had just 1 win in 15 fixtures in all competitions going into the match, stretching back to the 24th of October. Jesus Christ.
Jeez.
But it carries on a great run against Man United at the Emirates. There was no Jesse Lingard dancing this time. Arsenal have now won 4 of their last 5 league meetings with the Red Devils at home in the league. And the victory here can be attributed to a totally dominant first half display.
A great first half. Mikel Arteta has gone firing.
For the first half, it was the same against Chelsea. They were very good in the first half.
Yeah, the fitness levels do drop off a little bit of a cliff, but I think you can all admit that Mikel Arteta has found a coherent way of playing.
Fair play to him.
Seems to have found a new system and has certainly re-energised the team to 60 minutes, because then the Unai Emery fitness regime...
Give it time. In Unai, they trust.
Yes.
In the first 45, Arsenal scored both their goals. They had 59% possession, completed 91% of their passes, took 7 shots to United's 1, completed 9 dribbles to United's 3, and won all 4 aerial duels contested. And Arteta's influence is there for all to see. Arsenal pressed well from the off, with Aubameyang, Lacazette and Pepe making 7 tackles and interceptions between them.
Never thought I would see the day that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was working backwards into the left-back slot to cover Sead Kolasinac, who got booked after 3 minutes, by the way, and was fine for the next 87.
I mean, that's all about United. You'll get onto them in a bit. This does mark a significant shift for Aubameyang and Laka in particular, who both averaged less than a tackle per game normally, and they completed 2 each last night. And Arteta was a very happy man after the game. Here's what he had to say.
We are suffering a little bit to try to maintain that level of intensity that we are playing the first half. I think it will come. I think it's part of the process, the way we train, that at the moment we don't have much time to do so. But as well, I really liked the resilience, and I like them to see them suffer together, you know. And when they had to defend deeper, I wanted to see that reaction. Instead of getting annoyed with each other, or when someone was giving the ball away, it was all positive reaction and everybody's striking back. So I'm pleased with that aspect of the game as well.
Yes, Arteta is flying at the moment. I think he has got them really firing on all cylinders. I actually don't think top 6 is a mile away for them. I think Arteta could overtake United and Tottenham, given how poor both of those sides are
100%.
right now. And clubs like Wolves and Sheffield United must have their eyes on that sort of 5th and 6th spot, because Manchester United were an absolute disgrace last night against Arsenal. Deary me, we came back into it in the second half somewhat, but again, I think you can put that down to Arsenal's fitness issues, because in the first half, they were just so dominant. United could not play against that deep block in the second half. Even though we were dominant on the ball, we never really created anything of any real substance. It was a lot of pot shots. I mean, we had 8 shots, didn't we? But only 2 found the target. I think we mustered less than a goal on XG. Arsenal were closer to 2. So worthy winners on the night. And it comes back to that midfield, doesn't it, for me? The lack of creativity.
You had a lot of injuries, to be fair.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. The injuries have hampered us. Scott McTominay with a ligament injury looks like he's going to be out for 2 to 3 months. Paul Pogba is apparently having surgery now on an ankle injury. Don't really know what's happened there or when that ankle injury happened, given that he played last week for Manchester United. Now he needs surgery. It all feels a bit puzzling. I think that's probably the end of Paul Pogba's time
100%,
at Manchester United.
100%. Bye-bye, Paul.
I feel sorry for United's midfield, because it's Fred trying to do everything, Matic, who's long past his best, trying to do too much, and there's just no creativity in there. It's well publicised that Jesse Lingard hasn't got a goal or an assist in the whole of 2019 in the Premier League, which is just an appalling stat for an attacking midfielder. And we made players like Granit Xhaka and Lucas Torreira look unbelievable last night. The midfield and the forwards are totally disconnected. Luke Shaw was an absolute shambles at left back. Harry Maguire had his worst game, I thought, in a Manchester United shirt. Wan-Bissaka, brilliant defensive talent, but not really good enough going forward just yet. I'm hoping he will improve into a very strong player. But if your right back can't be flying forward and is more of a defender, your left back has to do loads. And Luke Shaw didn't really do enough. There's so many problems with Manchester United right now. They have to get January signings in.
Who do you think they should be bringing in?
We've got to sign 2 central midfielders at least. Because at the moment, our midfield is Fred and Matic. Jimmy Garner's injured.
Not great at all.
Pereira, obviously not good enough. Lingard, not good enough. So we need an attacking mid and we need a central midfielder. Who those players are, God knows. We're linked to Jedson from Benfica. On loan, I believe, with the option to buy at £34 million, but he can't even get in Benfica's starting lineup, so I don't see him coming from the bench. Still very young, still very raw into Manchester United starting 11. Continuously linked with Emre Can. I think it'd be an all right signing. Would be an upgrade on Matic, that's for sure, and would start in central midfield for Man United. But the other players we're linked with, Jack Grealish.
He's good.
Not going to happen in January.
Oh yeah, definitely not in January.
Don't get me wrong, I think he'd be a good signing in the summer, but not going to happen in January because if he left Villa, they're definitely going down. James Maddison, again linked with us. Why would he leave Leicester? Why would he leave Leicester for Manchester United mid-season? Why would Leicester sell him? And Man United aren't going to pay 140 million to get him out in January. I don't know where United turn. There's massive problems for Solskjaer, and all the time it feels like it's 1 step forward, 2 steps back. The midfield needs help. The defence is average and the forward line are isolated. So many problems and I don't know where to go. But for Arsenal, let's just throw it back to a positive for Arteta, who was getting the best out of Nicolas Pepe last night, wasn't he? Finally opened the scoring. That's his 3rd league goal of the season. In the first half alone, he took 2 shots, completed 3 dribbles, had 42 touches. That's the Luke Shaw effect for you. And despite going off on 62 minutes, he still ended the match having created double the amount of chances with anyone else on the pitch. Great performance from Nicolas Pepe. Mikel Arteta has got on firing on all cylinders. As for Manchester United, though,
we move on to our first loser of 2020, and what a worthy loser it is. It's Tottenham Hotspur and Jose Mourinho.
Yes, it feels like we're in Jose's 3rd season already and we're only about 10 games in. The wheels are starting to come off. They lost 1-0 against Southampton away at St Mary's. Danny Ings with yet another goal. He can't stop scoring at the moment and the problems are all over the pitch for Tottenham Hotspur. Yes, they were dominant in the game, 60% possession. They outshot Southampton 12-11. I even think they had a better XG, but defensively, what is going on? It's almost as if playing 32-year-old central defender Jan Vertonghen at left-back isn't quite working at the moment.
Almost.
Since Jose Mourinho took over Tottenham Hotspur, no team in the league has conceded more than his 18 goals. It's absolutely shocking. They've only kept 1 clean sheet in 11 games under Jose Mourinho in all competitions, which is kind of totally opposite to how you see Jose Mourinho teams, or his greatest teams, set up, where you think they're a real defensive powerhouse with some individual quality going forward. It was a bit of a weird game for Tottenham Hotspur on the pitch. Obviously, Harry Kane also pulled his hamstring, scoring an offside goal, and off the pitch. Because you might well have seen by now Jose Mourinho getting booked for looking at Southampton's tactics in their dugout. He just wandered over and started looking at them.
What's he doing?
The referee booked him, and after the game, he pulled no punches. This is classic prickly Jose. Give this a listen.
I think the yellow card is fair because I was rude, but I was rude to an idiot, and for some reason I was rude, but I was, and because I was rude, I deserve the yellow card.
There's some suggestion as well on the internet that you were trying to look at their notes. Was that true?
What?
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
However, we should give some praise to Southampton. They've now won 2 of their past 3 Premier League games, with Tottenham losing just 1 of them after winning just 1 of 13 before that. And the Saints have now won 3 of their past 5 Premier League games, or home games that is, drawing 1 and losing 1. As many victories at home as they managed in their previous 14. So that 9-0 loss to Leicester, I don't know what Ralph Hasenhüttl has done, but but he has changed them fantastically.
Well, it's almost as if Danny Ings has hit a hot run of form and every shot he hits goes in the back of the net.
Almost. Well, talking about Danny Ings, he is the man they have to thank. He has 13 league goals now,
Unreal.
second best with Aubameyang, and is only bettered by Jamie Vardy on 17, who is running hot. If Danny Ings is starting, it normally means he'll find the back of the net. Ings has 9 goals in his past 9 Premier League starts, and he loves playing against the top 6. Since the start of last season, only Sergio Aguero on 9 has scored more Premier League goals against the division's big 6 than Ings, who is currently on 8. So they have to be playing him. Southampton next face Huddersfield in the FA Cup, while Tottenham go away to Middlesbrough and are hoping for no magic of the cup moments.
Moving on to our second winners, it's Watford. I don't know what Pearson has been putting in the Lucozade down at Vicarage Road, but it might well be illegal because their form is absolutely outrageous.
Yes, they were one of the informed teams over the hectic Christmas period, and new manager Nigel Pearson has taken 10 points from his first 5 games. They could barely buy a point before that. Subsequently, the Hornets have moved off of the bottom spot, leapfrogging Norwich on 19 points. They've taken more points in their last 5 games than the previous 16. After appearing down and out following the sacking of 2 managers in one season, which is still mental to even say, they are now 3 points off of safety. West Ham are on 22 points and are in 16th. Jesus Christ. Now, can Nigel Pearson pull off another great Premier League escape? His 14-15 Leicester side survived after recording just 19 points in 29 games. And since that 2-0 loss to Liverpool on the 14th of December, the quartet of Deulofeu, Deeney, Sarr and Doucouré have come to the rescue.
Yeah, you have to say as well, even that loss to Liverpool, they played really well and they had chances to get something out of the game, particularly from Ismaila Sarr, who missed that absolute sitter, didn't they? And they've since gone on to beat some pretty decent opposition. They're out of form. Manchester United, they've swept away, obviously. Villa as well. Wolves, most recently, they drew to Sheffield United. So you can see that they're in a massive upturn of form. And some people might say that they've been getting a little bit lucky with XG recently. But having said that, at the start of the season, they're massively underperforming their expected goals. So it's about time someone started scoring. Do you want to mention some statistics that blew my mind as well from their game against Wolves last night? Adama Traore completed 15 dribbles.
Oh my God.
15 dribbles in 90 minutes. Obviously, that's the most since Opta Records began. 15 dribbles. I think, is that one every 6 minutes?
That's just ridiculous.
Which is just scary. I mean, despite all of that, 15 dribbles, he did only create 2 chances for his team. I think on the opposition, on Watford's side, their top dribbler was like Deulofeu, who completed 3, which is still not too bad.
Whoa.
15 is an absolute freak number. Despite those Traore efforts, Wolves were ultimately not able to recover from a terrible first half showing, including that Dendoncker howler who gifted the ball to Deulofeu and that pretty heavily deflected Doucouré strike. Watford, though, have a couple winnable Premier League fixtures coming up as well. They're about to play Bournemouth after the FA Cup weekend, who we're going to talk about as our final losers, and then Tottenham, who are also... So, you never know. Pearson could take another 6 points here. The man is literally performing witchcraft.
And our final loser of the day is none other than Eddie Howe's abysmal Bournemouth. Why is that, Jay?
Oh, dearie me, they're bad. They were battered 4-0 away from home by West Ham with Noble getting a brace. That's just how bad they are. They've now won just 2 of their last 15 league games. That is Arsenal form, drawing 4, losing 5. Their only victory in the last 9 was 1-0 away against Chelsea, wasn't it? I don't know what the hell happened that day. They are into the relegation zone, of course, and it's been a pretty torrid 2019, to be totally honest, for Bournemouth fans. They've won just 10 of 38 games across the calendar year in the Premier League, which isn't good enough. And as much praise as Eddie Howe's got for bringing them up from League Two and making them a Premier League club, he must now face criticism when every other manager in the league in this position has been getting hammered, to be totally honest. They were completely dominated by West Ham. They had 57% possession, yes, but they only created 3 chances in 90 minutes. Only had 2 shots on target.
God.
West Ham had 14 shots with 7 on target. XG was a demolition, over 2 to under 1. It was the 3rd time this season as well that Bournemouth have had 3 shots or fewer in a Premier League match. They can't score and they can't defend. At the moment, they're on a heavy slide and Watford are flying. So don't be surprised to see Watford overtake them in the coming weeks. They've won just 4 points in their last 10 games, a miserable run of form, which is, of course, by far the worst in the league, hurtling towards relegation. 6 managers have been fired this season. Eddie Howe, he has to turn it around quickly because Bournemouth aren't a size of club that can afford to go down.
Indeed. However, on the opposite end, it was an absolute dream start for Moisiola. This was their biggest Premier League win since November 2007 when they beat Derby 5-0 away from home, and it's their biggest home win since 2005. What a start for him. Now, it was crucial for the return of form to Haller. The 25-year-old Frenchman had scored just 1 goal in his previous 11 games, but scored a beauty and led the line superbly, winning 8 aerial duels, the most on the pitch. And it was no surprise that it came from inside the box, though. All 75 of his top-flight career goals have been scored from inside it. He does not know how to score one from outside the box. Even more positive news for West Ham, Felipe Anderson returned to form. And West Ham fans give him a lot of stick, but in this game he was class, scoring his first Premier League goal since April. That's 20 games and 28 shots ago. Now, it was a great game for the Brazilian. 3 tackles and interceptions, 3 dribbles completed, 2 shots and a goal. But the main man, Mark Noble, coming up. 2 goals. His first was his 8th from outside the box in the Premier League, most for West Ham, overtaking Lampard, it was barely there, before he won and converted a penalty to put them 3-0 up. His 26th pen in the Premier League. He's 4th in the all-time list.
That was
Yeah, indeed. He was definitely man of the match on the day. He made 4 tackles and interceptions, completed 1 dribble, made 1 key pass, took 2 shots, and got 2 goals. Now, after Gillingham in the Cup this weekend, they've got a tough run of fixtures. Sheffield United away, Everton at home, Leicester away, and it's unlike Bournemouth, who have to face Watford, who are on good form, Norwich.
Massive games.
2 fixtures they have to win. If they don't win that, Eddie Howe, it was nice knowing you, mate.
So that's it for this week's episode of Winners and Losers. Sorry if we're a little bit rusty, but you know, we have had some time off. I hope you enjoyed Christmas. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you go over to EFD because what's going on over there?
Euro transfer talk. If you want to know where Paul Abil Pogba could be ending up come the end of January, for God's sake, head over there. And if you've enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel and we'll see you soon. Bye.